All right, welcome on everyone. Again, we continue to pray for the safety and security of all those in Israel. We'll continue to say Tehillim tonight between Mincha and Shul. You can also say it at home. We've been saying Tehillim Chaf, Kuf Chaf Aleph, and Kuf Lamed 20, 121, and 130. I'm hoping that everyone should remain safe, and we should only continue to hear good news. Hope that our Divrei Torah today are as close for all of their safety as well. Merit for all of them to remain safe and to have a refuah for all those in need of healing. We'll look at a couple of short Rashis today in Bamidbar, the fourth Aliyah, our Aliyah for today. The fourth Aliyah is really all about Kohanim and Leviim. Interesting, in a parsha about a census of the totality of the Jewish people, we move from the census to the encampment of the Jewish people, which we talked a little bit about yesterday, where everyone is placed, and the fact that the Leviim are the center of the camp surrounding the Mishkan. And from there, we go on to discuss the particulars of the tribe of Levi, including the Kohanim. So the beginning of the Aliyah describes the children of Aaron, and if you're taking a census, you want to know kind of where people are at and where the status of each tribe is at. So this tribe of Levi is no different. We want to know kind of who's the Kohanim, who are the Leviim. We want to situate ourselves as we go forward towards the travels in the desert, which ultimately we're supposed to lead to Eretz Yisrael very soon. It ended up taking 38 years, but for the moment, we're set in the beginning of Bamidbar to actually go into Israel. So we needed to know after the building of the Mishkan how many people there were and how many people were going to be traveling to the land. So it starts to talk about the Kohanim, the children of Aaron. It talks about the death of Nadav and Avihu, the fact that Elazar and Tamar were the ones remaining. So the opening line is Ve'ela toldos Aaron u'Moshe b'yom diber Hashem es Moshe b'Har Sinai. These are the generations, the children of Aaron and Moshe, on the day that Hashem spoke to Moshe in Har Sinai. What's strange is that then the next couple of psukim only go on to describe the children of Aaron and not the children of Moshe. So why is the introductory pasuk say these are the children of Aaron and Moshe? So a very beautiful, famous Rashi here. Rashi comments on this idea and he says, Eino maskir elo b'nei Aaron. After telling us, he's going to tell us the generations of Aaron and Moshe, pasuk psukim only go on to describe the children of Aaron. V'nikru toldos Moshe, and yet the children of Aaron are also called the offspring, the generations of Moshe. Why? Lefi shelimdan Torah, because Moshe was their Torah teacher. He taught them Torah. Melamed, and what that teaches us is shekol hamelamed es ben chaveru Torah mala alav hakasuv ki'ilu yelado. Anyone who teaches someone else Torah is considered as if they gave birth to them. A beautiful idea. There's so much to say about this image and this idea, and a lot of research about why this idea in Chazal came up. The teachers are more like parents than like teachers, but I think what it really conveys to us is the relationship of Torah is one that breeds closeness and one that requires hakaras hatov. Just like the relationship between a parent and a child is one of hopefully great closeness, it's also one of great hakaras hatov, recognition and gratitude. The parents gave you life, and for no other reason, one has to have a measure of gratitude towards their parents for that. So too, the relationship of teacher and student, it's one that breeds a great closeness because that teacher is one that brought you close to Hashem. And that's an experience that is, unparalleled in the world. It's our greatest aspiration in life. And if a teacher helped you to get there, helped you to get closer to HaKadosh Baruch Hu and His Torah, then that's something pretty major, almost as close as giving birth. And that's a relationship that also requires gratitude and basic recognition. Even if your teacher is someone you don't like, if your teacher brought you close to Torah, then that's something you have to be grateful for, as the relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the be-all and end-all of life. And so much more to say about that and to think about, but that's one of the places where Rashi quotes that Ma'amar Chazal is right over here, where Moshe his children are not actually mentioned, but Aaron's children are called his children because he taught them Torah. Going on to the next part of the Aliyah, transitioning from the Kohanim to the Leviim, Torah talks a little bit about the role of the Leviim. V'adaber Hashem Moshe lemor hakreves mate Levi ve'amadato so lifnei Aaron hakohen v'sher suoso, that you should bring the tribe of Levi closer and bring them in front of Aaron HaKohen and presumably his children as well. And the role that they are supposed to play is to serve the Kohanim v'sher suoso. Vishamru es mishmarto, another role that they're supposed to play is to preserve the mishmeres, the guard, so to speak, the honor guard and the practical guard of the Mishkan, which is at the center of the camp, which is what we talked about the other day. And the third role is la'avodas avodas ha-mishkan, to actually serve a functional purpose in the Mishkan. So the threefold purpose or role of the tribe of Levi is delineated over here as well, as noted here. They are actually, the way the Torah describes it, given to Aaron, given to the Kohanim. Nisunim hemalo. They are given to him, as Rashi says here. Nisunim hemalo. They're not given like as his possession, but nisunim lo la'azara, to be able to help them. That's the role of the Levium, is to help the Kohanim in their service. Now, of course, the Torah has to mention in passing how the Levium got this role altogether, and this is the next Rashi that I wanted to show you. So, the reason I've separated out the whole tribe of Levi, not just the Kohanim, which are going to serve, the children of Aaron who are going to serve in the Mishkan, but also the rest of the tribe of Levi. I've separated them from the rest of Bnei Israel. Why? Tachas kol bechor petarecha mibnei Israel. I've actually used them to replace the firstborns of the rest of Israel, not from the tribe of Levi. V'hayuli haLevim, and now the Levim will be mine, will be in my service, will be used in my Mishkan. Why? Kili kol bechor b'yom hakosiyas kol bechor b'eretz Mitzrayim. Originally, the Bechors belonged to me. Their service belonged to me. They were indebted to me because I saved them during Makas Bechoros in Mitzrayim, and therefore, Yiktashti li kol Bechor b'Yisrael me'adam v'ad that every Bechor, every firstborn is sanctified unto me. And now I'm using the Levium to replace those Bechors. Now, the reason the Bechors are chosen is very clear in the Pasuk, but the reason why the Levium replaced the Bechors is not clear in the Pasuk, and Rashi fills in those details, right? Misoch b'nei Yisrael shehayu Yisrael sochen osam l'sheiru sheli. Yeah, Bechoros zachisi b'hem lekachtim trumasam lefi shaita avozosam bebechoros. The whole avoda of the Mishkan was supposed to be with the Bechoros. Ukshechatu ba'egel nifsalu. But when they participated in the Cheta Egel at Har Sinai, they invalidated themselves for service in the Mishkan. V'halevim shelo avdu avodah zara nivchuru tachteim. The Levim who did not participate in any way in the Egel Hazav were able to come and replace them as the ones who are now worthy to serve. But since the role really belonged to the Bechors, the Levium had to officially be taken now in front of Aaron and replaced, and be the replacement for the Bechors in this kind of ceremony, so to speak, over here, which Rashi explains to us. This is delineated in other places as well, in Chazal, the Rashis, and it's hinted to even more explicitly on other psukim, but in our parsha it's not told to us, but Rashi does clue us into this fact that the Bechors were really sanctified. The reason why the Levim here are being singled out and brought in front of Aaron, given the whole role of Mishmeres and Avoda and the Mishkan, all of that is all because the Bechors were demoted at Cheta Egel, and now the Levim were raised to this new level and this new role that they were supposed to play. Have a great day, everybody, and we'll see you tomorrow, God willing.